comedian who's at home in Hollywood, having starred in blockbusters alongside the likes of Johnny Depp, Russell Crowe and the Sex and the City girls.
But back here, he's not afraid to joke about things like this.
This is a security announcement.
Great to be here.
That was very funny. But were you initially worried about making jokes about race and religion?
I think that came up because it actually happened to me. I kept worrying about people. I was at the airport once. I saw two thick blokes had one eyebrow between the two of them. And
Monobrow.
I really thought that we were going to die. And then I looked round, and everyone was looking at me. I said, "What are you looking at me for?" And I realised it was the Gallagher brothers.
Right.
So it had nothing to do with me.
Right. So do you think we're all a bit sensitive about that kind of thing?
No, I think that comedians, whenever there is a sensitivity, it's always good to laugh at it so that we remove the fear from it, and then we can move ahead with our lives. That's the idea.
Fair enough.
Well, from next Monday, all headgear covering the face will be banned in public in France, which includes the full-face Muslim veil, the niqab. Now, what do you make of this, Omid, this news?
Well, I think there's one thing that people don't understand, that they think that the whole veil thing was imposed by men, by Islam, and that's not the case. Gave it to women for their own protection, because men were so crazed that they saw women they couldn't hold back. So the idea was to protect themselves from this. But I think that it's one of those things where, you know, I think that things can get out of hand. I think is there going to be a debate about this?
Yeah, there will.
We are, yeah.
But I think the main thing is in a multicultural society, what we don't understand about cultures just living next to each other and tolerating. There has to be a kind of overall sense of what humanity is, and an assertion of the oneness of humanity, that we're unity. There's unity in diversity.
Yeah.
And I think if we have that, which is what we don't have, that's why we have these misunderstandings.
Yeah, it's a valid point. Well, banning the veil in France is a controversial move led by President Nicolas Sarkozy. Shortly, we'll be talking to Lord Pearson, who believes that Sarkozy is right in a public place and thinks that the same should happen here.
Yeah, but first we hit the streets of Birmingham.
This week, we were all shocked and appalled by the news that a 5-year-old girl was critically wounded after being caught in the crossfire in a gangland shooting.
Gangs and guns are something that Manchester United footballer Rio Ferdinand is trying to put a stop to.
So over to Anita Rani to find out what Rio's...
But Omid, you're quite impressed that Rio's getting out there, even though he's not a Chelsea player.
No, he played very well last night as well, much to my chagrin. I think it's fantastic what Rio's doing, because people forget that football essentially is a community support. It's a community sport, and even though, you know, I'm a Chelsea fan, I was behind Tottenham when they played against Real Madrid, and it's very good that footballers who do get paid a lot of money are out there giving back to society, and I think that especially at Chelsea, I'm a season ticket holder there really is a community spirit. Everyone knows each other, we laugh and we joke together, and although it's just a couple of hours on a Saturday or a Sunday, it's a feel-good thing that gives back into society.
Yeah, but as a Chelsea fan, what do you think of the statue outside Fulham FC? We've got to ask you, the statue of Michael Jackson, here it is. Now then, do we like it?
It doesn't actually look like Michael Jackson. Neither did Michael Jackson. Did look like Michael Jackson. I think it's. I love the fact that Al Fayed is saying he was my friend. I would never want to know. He was my friend.
Yeah.
And I don't know. We have a statue at Chelsea of Peter Osgood, who was the symbol of Chelsea. He was a symbol of that kind of 1970s cool with the King's Road. I don't know what other things we'd. I would like to see maybe a statue outside Old Trafford of Wayne Rooney screaming into a camera, perhaps.
Or maybe not.
Or maybe not.
Maybe
Are you a right fan? I'm sorry.
Okay, right, we'll move on to your tour.
We'll get on to the tour, yeah.
Yes, let's talk about the tour.
Your new tour is called The Tour of Duty. And then what's it all about? Where did the title come from?
The title came from the idea that I reminded myself that the British troops who are out abroad, they're essentially peacekeeping forces, and I love that, and we sometimes forget that, and my comedy is meant to be a peacekeeping force, as a kind of bridge between East and West. The other alternative I have was to make the whole tour about my film career and call it Omid Djalli Dead by Scene 5, which kind of sums up my whole career. But I think it's the idea is to expand beyond just kind of ethnic jokes and talk about the different, I suppose, questions like, for example, are we human beings who are capable of experiencing the spiritual, or are we spiritual beings essentially experiencing the human? That kind of question.
Okay, well, let's have a little look at you in action.
Yes, doing the ethnic thing.
Yeah.
You go around the world, you try and blend in with the local.
That's you, obviously, talking about Liverpool and what have you. You spent
Yes.
a lot of time over in Hollywood. I mean, an incredible... I mean, you talked about Dead by Scene 5, but, you know,
Yes.
it's amazing some of the films that you've been in. So how does that sort of sit alongside your comedy? And do you want to see it go towards more serious?
I think it's good doing films because as a comic, you develop a very thick skin. So when you're on set, you don't get so upset if someone doesn't like what you've done. For example, I did Sex and the City 2, and the director, Michael
That
Patton...
excited me most of all when I read it.
But the director was so schizophrenic because he goes, Omid, you're wonderful. Could you just stir the cup of coffee and then say your lines? He went action, and I stirred, and I put my finger up for some reason. I said that he went, cut. What was that? What was that? What was the finger? Talk about telegraphing the comedy. Oh, that was horrible. He's like a dry rich. He goes, give me some water. He goes, let's do it again. Action. I did it again. He goes, you're sublime. You're wonderful. So, completely. But I think had I just been an actor, I would have felt really upset. But it was the comedy side of me. It was the stand-up comedian who used to getting heckled. I was quite thick-skinned, and I thought it was just a funny thing that happened. I didn't get too bothered by it.
Brilliant stuff. Well, Omid is back on the road for his stand-up tour that starts in October, and tickets go on sale tomorrow.
It's time now for Cary Grant to explore the story behind one of...
Tonight, an excruciatingly catchy novelty tune. So catchy, in fact, that it's really, really annoying.
Well, see, I loved it, being a country file boy. It's all about Combine Harvester. Is that good?
Wasn't too bad.
35 years ago...
Stars, eh?
Well, Carrie's got us thinking about other catchy novelty tunes that you just can't get out of your head. What's your favourite, Matt?
That would have to be Agadoo.
Of course.
There it is, 1984. Top 75 for 30 weeks, can you believe it, by Blacklist.
Oh, my
It
God.
reminds me of children's parties, that one does.
Honestly, you'll be singing it all night long. You'll never get it out of your head.
I feel sick looking at them.
So...
Do you?
Go on,
See,
what
the
about
one I can't stop thinking about is Macarena. If you cast your minds back to Magaluf circa 1998 and everybody's kind of doing this dance.
Yeah.
Do you remember it, Omid?
Cool song, actually.
A good song.
It's a great song.
Well, it sold 4 million in the US alone.
Wow.
Yeah.
Los Del Rio sang about.
Yeah.
And you've got your own catchy tune, haven't you?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Let's
can
have a look
guess.
at this.
No, what?
He wants to get out and go off to college, learn lots of stuff. He thinks arts is for knowledge, but I want him to learn a real man's skill, how to not to make customers ill.
Good fun, that little sketch, was it?
It really was. And we found a boy who looked like me when I was 16, which was very cool. It was the whole conflict of a kebab shop owner's son and can live his life properly, and I wanted to stay in the kebab shop, so it was a universal theme.
Well, very.
Better than Agadoo, anyway.
Yeah.
What about Chuck Berry's Ding-a-Ling, eh?
Yeah, they're all in.
Remember that one? That got
You know
round.
how that one goes, actually.
When I was none, my grandmother bought me a ding-a-ling.
Lovely voice.
Remember that?
Bad song, but lovely voice. Anyway, all the week, our one-show doctor has been travelling around the country, meeting viewers with curious complaints. We've had warts and all, haven't we, Matt?
Well, you explain yourself on that one. I haven't had any warts at all. But tonight, a condition that's been getting up a patient's nose for the past 18 months.
Yes, over to Dr. Sarah Jarvis to sniff it out.
She called Mina today. She never smelled before. She's loving bread and shampoo in the shower.
And now I know why you have me insulted my whole life. That's a disgrace! This show's a disgrace!
Sorry, Omid. We go.
Well, temperatures are expected to reach up to 19 degrees in some parts of the country. That's good news. Come on, Omid.
Yeah, it's warm.
Over the weekend, so that's good news, isn't it?
Absolutely delightful. Anyway,
Yeah.
tomorrow, Raddy Walsh.
You at 7.
Bye-bye.
Bye.